Hello students, welcome to the third lesson of our mini course, and today we are going to talk to you about zodiac signs. Zodiac signs can be categorized into 4 groups based on elements: fire signs, earth signs, air signs, and water signs. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius are the fiery zodiac signs known for their passionate and energetic nature. The zodiac includes the earth signs Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Additionally, there are air signs Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, as well as water signs Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Why do we divide the zodiac signs into 4 elements, and what does it provide us? The fact is, the zodiac signs and their verses demonstrate the general tendencies of character, the overall level of energy, and the abilities of an individual. For instance, fire signs are highly active, extremely impulsive, oriented towards leadership, and their social function is to acquire resources. The fire signs of the zodiac, they are currently in the process of planning. They possess entrepreneurial skills and have a natural inclination towards setting and achieving goals. So Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, that is precisely the individual who, in a group, expresses, "Let us execute this project. Let us progress towards this objective. Well, for that, we need to accomplish this, this, and this." This is the fire element. This is the fiery nature of the zodiac signs. Earth signs of the zodiac also have common traits. They possess a wholly distinct function. They are concentrated on the preservation of resources. So if the fiery zodiac signs were capturing a resource somewhere, they were planning to capture it, take it away, or somehow create this resource, then the earth zodiac signs preserve what they have gained. The earth signs we possess are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. They are all extremely level-headed individuals. They are very practical, laid back. Their job is not to run ahead like fire signs, but to preserve, provide stability, and lay the foundation for growth. This is the nature of the earth signs of the zodiac. Air signs of the zodiac are known for being flexible and very outgoing in their communication. Their social role is to exchange information, exchange goods, or some services. Air signs of the zodiac, just a reminder, are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. These signs are characterized by being very sociable, intellectual. They often move from place to place. They easily adapt to any person they communicate with, and these people are more likely to blend in with new changing circumstances. Easygoing nature, sociability, intellectual development, and involvement in the business sales, information, media, magazines, newspapers, and mass media. All these characteristics indicate that a person has a serious focus on the air signs of the zodiac. Signs that are associated with water in the zodiac are considered to be the most sensitive and spiritually oriented signs in the entire system. Watermarks, just so you know, are a crab, a scorpion, and fish. All of these astrological signs are characterized by the fact that they are quite sensitive, emotionally unprotected, and perceive everything as if it personally concerns them on a deep level. The social mission of watermarks is to transmit wisdom, knowledge, and educate a new generation of individuals. Due to this, signs ruled by water have a deep love for children, strive to have a large number of children, and often choose professions such as teachers, mentors, or spiritual leaders. Water signs of the zodiac are very spiritually inclined, as I already said, and for them, the internal component of the whole process is important. That's just their natural inclination and social mission, to pass down wisdom from generation to generation. So we have witnessed that each of the elements possesses its own profound significance, plays a role in society, and provides an understanding of life through a unique lens. This is a whole concept of how to live. So in the future, when you're going through this course, you'll be able to figure out which zodiac signs are emphasized for you. And once you do, you can understand your spiritual purpose, social role, and your place in society through the lens of astrology. Let us now proceed to the specific attributes and qualities associated with each individual zodiac sign. We recently examined them in groups and gained an understanding of them as impromptu groups. Now we are going to break down each of the signs with you. And the initial zodiac sign that we will discuss is Aries. It is no coincidence that Aries have a pushy and active personality. These are the people who kick off the start of something, even if it involves a list of zodiac signs and requires them to take charge. Aries are under the guidance of the planet Mars. Please make sure to remember this information, because according to the boss of the planet, who is also the boss of your zodiac sign, you will later find and decipher the indicators that will reveal your destiny. So Ovin is under the influence of the planet Mars. Mars is a celestial body that symbolizes physical activity or aggressive behavior. This is a planet of people who act before they think, and this quality is also associated with the astrological sign Aries. They rapidly become enthusiastic with an idea, it emerges in their minds, they swiftly devise a rough plan of how it can manifest in their lives, and they commence to act with great vigor, trying one method or another in a highly proactive manner, determined to make it a reality. Their societal role is to test an idea and comprehend whether it is alive or deceased, indicating whether it functions or does not function effectively. You will not be able to find any details, thoughtfulness, missions, and so on in this particular approach and so forth. The energy of Aries is quite straightforward. It is known for its speed and remarkable effectiveness. He rapidly determines if it's a working version or not. If it isn't working, he shifts to a new goal. This is where the character of a jerk is formed in this social function. Active, assertive, not paying attention to the emotions and opinions of others, knowing themselves what they need and how they need to do it. Passionate, with fire inside. This fire when you want to do, achieve, try, perform some heroic act and show others how cool it can be. Now that's the Aries spirit. The next zodiac sign is Taurus. By the way, we didn't mention that Aries is a fire sign. Let us take another look at this, as Aries remains a fire sign. And kindly pay attention. The complete cycle of zodiac signs commences with this rough, active, and life-affirming energy of Aries, which sets the tone for the rest of the zodiac. However, Taurus is significantly calmer. This zodiac sign is under the influence of the planet Venus. Venus, present in this down-to-earth and tranquil sense, conveys that I have a wealth of understanding when it comes to pleasures, delectable cuisine, a pleasant shelter, and ensuring safety and security. These values symbolize the values typically associated with a bull: the pursuit of wealth, the accumulation of the trappings of a fulfilling life, being financially well off, expressing love through the exchange of gifts, financial support, and material care. And for Taurus, shape is very important. These are the people who will dress better than anyone else. They will have food presented very beautifully. They will have a beautiful, well-kept home. For them, it's the form that has a big ritual significance. Their social function, after the Rams figured out where the resource is to preserve this resource and use it so that society can accumulate money, accumulate its own goods in a not-so-easy way, earned by the Rams. A Taurus frequently tends to opt for a profession as a financier, a chef, or an individual who deals with highly practical matters in society and is known for their strong determination and reliability. And they also have an inclination towards the beauty sector due to Venus being the primary planet in this domain, the planet that exercises authority over them. But however, the resident expresses the most practical, everyday aspect of Venus, so the sphere of beauty here will be more expressed in the art of hairdressing, in the art of confectionery, in how to decorate the house, in design, and so on and so forth. So the sphere of such art that is further detached from practical utilitarian purposes is represented by the concept of scales. The second indication of Venus, the third indication of the zodiac, twins. These are individuals belonging to the air element, known for being sociable, intellectual, and always on the move, never staying in one place for long. They always have a few hobbies. They try this one, then that one, then the third one. They're really into all this stuff. They're throwing something, moving on to a new project somewhere, and this airy element accompanies them throughout their lives in small and big decisions. The twins are under the influence of the planet Mercury. This planet is all about being social, you know. It is responsible for communication, transmitting information, moving goods, trading services, and all that jazz, among other things. That is the reason why twins often tend to be highly talented in the literary field, in writing, in journalism, and in managing social media platforms. There is a multitude of twin bloggers. It is entirely about being proficient salespeople. Twins excel in working with information. They possess intellectual abilities, are inclined towards scientific research, and effortlessly manage substantial amounts of information that requires structuring, presentation to the masses, processing, and more. Gemini individuals have the power to unite diverse groups of people. For instance, when Owen, a Gemini, created something out of nothing and acquired a valuable resource, his companions saved it. Then, the Gemini twin utilized their trading skills and connected successful cities, effectively leveraging the resource to foster growth and prosperity, That is his way of bringing people together. This social function gives rise to the character of twins and the skills and qualities that are associated with it in order to fulfill this social function. Let's do it one more time. Twins are active, easy to communicate with, know how to adapt to their interlocutor, intellectual, love a large amount of information, know how to sell, know how to teach some information, and so on and so forth. The twins are under the guidance of the planet Mercury. This is the planet that is nearest to the Sun in our solar system. She is always slightly burnt and she spins very quickly. She possesses the shortest orbit. Additionally, twins, they do not enjoy being still. They have a preference for moving around, communicating, as it is an inner spiritual need for them to connect different groups of people by providing services, information, or goods. Cancer, the fourth sign of the zodiac, is already a water sign. It is ruled by the moon. Cancers are highly sensitive individuals. They are individuals who deeply experience emotions, requiring time to process and comprehend everything that has occurred to them and within society during their developmental stage. The Taurus accumulated, the Gemini exchanged commodities or information, and the Cancer absorbed everything within itself and internally experienced it. How can you distinguish between a person with the rising sign of Cancer in the first house and another person? This individual is going to talk excessively about emotions. He is going to see, some emotional side to everything that is discussed during the conversation. He does not genuinely care about the events or any plotline in the book. He is truly getting into the emotions on a deep level. And do you know what, crabs? They actually possess this incredible and overwhelming need to be heard and for you to empathize with and understand their inner emotions completely. Husband Cancer coming home in the evening, or wife Cancer ascending coming home in the evening, will be telling about all emotions and all mood swings that happen during the day with him or with her. Even a minor incident has the potential to disrupt their progress and throw them off track, regardless of its small scale. They are highly sensitive and they genuinely want to be heard, to be accepted with all this tremendous amount of emotional energy that they have within them. If Owen demonstrated to us the energy of motion, accomplishments, and some, extremely rough entertainment, alive, lifeless, functioning, not functioning, fighter or victim, Taurus embodies a more serene energy of accumulation and calming down. As Americans often say, settle down. Well, let's just say, settle everything that has happened to us, all the experiences and events that have shaped us. Twins, as you have heard many times today, exchange, communicate, and develop through it, while crabs possess a tremendous amount of internal emotional energy that fuels their actions and behaviors. Certainly they would be more advantageous handling children, nurturing kids, or being employed in the service sector where a high level of emotional engagement with the customer is required. Perhaps it is the field of makeup, perhaps it is some type of psychological field providing support. Taking care of the elderly, the sick, the children, the young moms, breastfeeding consultations. All these individuals, they are also highly necessary. Moreover, crabs that rise and people with the sun in Cancer are extremely empathetic to others and are fully prepared to carry out exactly this work. None of the Gemini, Taurus, or Aries individuals would desire to process such a large number of emotions on a daily basis, both at work and at home, as Cancers do. The moon, which rules this sign, the sign of Cancer, shows the fickleness and instability of their character. And it is truly challenging for them to stay in the same state for a long period of time. They are pretty fickle when it comes to their emotional state, meaning their mood and physical well-being can change. Sometimes they feel good, sometimes bad, sometimes anxious, and then good again. They are really, really flexible and unpredictable individuals in a positive manner. Leo, the subsequent zodiac sign, is, well, let's say the second round. We have already gone through one fiery, one earthly, one airy, and one watery phase with you. Now we are entering the second round, and the energy of these signs is similar, so Aries and Leo have similar characteristics. Both of them are assertive and exhibit leadership qualities. However, the leadership style of Aries is characterized by its aggressiveness, roughness, and captivating nature. Captivating territory, resources, and for a lion it is more about leadership, which is associated with coming into a ready-made system and reigning over it with authority, dominance, and a sense of majesty. So Aries is ready to create something out of nothing, while Leo prefers to go where there is already some foundation and support and then maintain and develop that foundation. So these are the important individuals, high-ranking executives, heads of departments, essentially anyone who has other employees working under them. Individuals for whom lions are accountable. Explore the way in which the lion pride exists. Regardless of the initial humor, when we are first familiarizing ourselves with this analogy, it effectively demonstrates the true lifestyle of individuals with a Leo zodiac sign. Women, that is lionesses, are hardworking, responsible, and have a whole pride including children, relatives, and girlfriends, often without a stable man by their side in their lives. Men lions are majestic creatures, possessing immense power, that is a substantial social resource and status, but they intermittently activate themselves, similar to how lions behave in a pride. The lion is enjoying his regal position, and only from time to time, when there is a great danger in the form of another lion, for example, or the need to protect the territory from some unfavorable situations, then the lion wakes up and his resource wakes up, this lion-like dangerous, this beastly, his energy. And individuals live in the same manner. Male lions are typically pretty chill. They do not hustle the most at work. They excel in redistributing work among team members, ensuring balanced workload, and closely monitoring progress of process in this team, rather than rushing to handle every task from start to finish on their own. But during a crisis, lions are very effective. Some kind of internal resource wakes up in them, and they are definitely careerists. Most of the time, they attempt to make a truly good career and accomplish a high social status. And even if the lioness woman does not work, which is essentially nonsense, she behaves inside the family like a truly cool manager. All her kids are in different extracurricular activities. The house is always, well, kind of manager-like. Not a guarantee that she'll clean it herself. Most probably, she will be in charge of a team of assistants. Thus, lions are truly managers who know how to build a group of people around them into a well-structured system. And their personal qualities are born from this social function. Charisma, the ability to be responsible, the ability to be generous. Lions are not stingy. They are generally known for being generous, fair, and noble creatures. The capability to gather individuals around oneself, qualities of leadership, and that calm, steady energy. That they demonstrated everything to everyone and their status is also high. The longing for certain elitist accomplishments of society, for branded clothing and accessories, for expensive cars, that is, for everything that brands connect them to such an elitist part of society where they can showcase their privileged position and gain recognition. Of course, this thing is not developed in everyone, like universally, but there is definitely a natural inclination. The lion is under the guidance of the sun. That makes a lot of sense and is understandable after we learned about the role of the lion. Even the visual depiction of a lion bears similarity to these radiant rays, spreading from the sun, displaying a vibrant shade of yellow. And the symbolism of the sun here signifies that lions become the focal point of attention for individuals, for whom they assume the responsibility of collaborating on a certain project. The upcoming zodiac sign is Virgo. Just a reminder, we are currently on the second lap, kind of on the second level of repetition of our elements, zodiac signs, and we have already covered the second fire sign with you. Tauruses accumulate and enjoy the resource that has appeared in society, and the maidens have a strong desire to create something new from this resource, as if they are deeply connected to agriculture, for example, or engaging in various crafts that significantly contribute to increasing the amount of material goods and overall prosperity in society. However, that is the earthly side of the Virgin. The Virgo is extremely diligent and pragmatic in nature. She does not have a lot of idle daydreams. She solely understands the world of business and nothing else. She doesn't pay much attention to words. For her, the main thing is to impress with action, some specific result. That is the reason why Virgos are known to be quite picky, extremely punctual, of course, and let's say excessively pedantic. They are meticulous and attentive to details, and this side of their character is not only connected with earthly nature, but also with the fact that they are under the guidance of the planet Mercury. Mercury is a smart person, as you recall. However, if in this case the unpredictable and changeable nature of Mercury was manifested in the exchange of information for goods and services, then in this case the unpredictable nature of Mercury consists of striving for some sort of perfection. You know, like Poirot used to say, I am a great detective, I am good at it because I perceive the world as flawless. And when I arrive at the crime scene, I observe the locations where the glitches are present in this flawless picture. And because of these glitches, well, naturally, you notice the little things he understood how, where, and in what way the murder happened. The identical thing is accomplished by the women. They comprehend deep down what the ideal world ought to be like. Job done perfectly, tree planted perfectly, children raised perfectly, and various other tasks accomplished flawlessly throughout the years. And they see all the glitches with this plan and try to get rid of them. Virgos are hard-working and practical, as I already said. They are intellectual, they are very smart, and often choose the profession of an accountant or a doctor. So these are the areas that require a lot of meticulousness, attention to detail, composure, honesty, integrity, and all those qualities undoubtedly can be attributed to two individuals. The upcoming zodiac sign is Libra, and it is yet another sign associated with the element of air. Scales, for better understanding, it is a sign that is also related to communication and exchanging information, but on a new, let's say, more abstract level that is separated from the practical side. If we're discussing the scale sign, we must remember the culture of high society in the 18th and 19th centuries. Back in the day when etiquette was a big deal, it was all about belonging to a certain social group, clan, or family. A person's status and their ability to adhere to the invisible norms of that society were everything. So you could say that scales are more about exchanging values, some information, a completely conceptual one for this society, this era, or for a specific group of people within a particular context. If the twins were not complex, their duty was to trade items that had recently emerged in society or to engage in the exchange of information with one another. At this location, the scales engage in the exchange of artistic ideas. They also exchange etiquette, diligently adhering to specific standards of conduct. Frequently, individuals born under the zodiac sign of Libra often choose professions such as lawyers or artists, effectively conveying an intangible value of this society, a conceptual value that is both practical and already more complex than that of individuals born under the zodiac sign of Twins. The zodiac sign Libra is under the influence of the planet Venus, and individuals born under this sign are inclined to create beauty around them. They are very sensitive to beauty, usually have a pleasing appearance, and also possess the talent of a negotiator. Libras are known for their ability to reconcile others and act as mediators between people, particularly in complex intellectual fields. Libras are frequently diplomatic. They do not push their partner. They make an effort to find a balance between their own interests and the interests of their partner. But do not be deceived by this. Libras are not individuals with weak wills. Just as in the symbol of the scales there are two pans and a beam, the same is true for the nature of Libras. There is a core in the form of extremely hard internal Stirnian values and a code of conduct that is very strict. As I mentioned earlier, these lawyers are frequently individuals with large bellies who possess a deep understanding of the legislation. Or are these individuals who have their own personal set of moral principles that they are unwaveringly committed to and cannot compromise on? Scorpion. This is the 8th zodiac sign, and in the zodiac you'll see them, these zodiac signs. You will not be able to see signs written in letters in the horoscope, in the image of the horoscope. You will be able to see their digital code specifically. Therefore, please simply get used to and familiarize yourself with which zodiac sign corresponds to which specific number for us. So the 8th zodiac sign is Scorpio. It is a water sign. In the second cycle of elements, it is water, and it demonstrates emotions that are not born within a person, similar to what was observed with Cancer, but rather emotions that intensify between 2 or 3 individuals. These are emotions related to sexuality, attractiveness, and passion. These are all complex and intense emotions similar to revenge and danger that carry a significant weight. So like all of these themes are like emotions, both bright and dark, that emerge between 2 individuals or emerge within the context of society as a whole. They are not as emotionally gentle and delicate as the crabs that were previously used to be in the past. So Scorpions are under the leadership of the planet Mars, which is their guiding force. And pay attention, there is already an internal conflict brewing here. Mars, the fiery planet, is fierce and active, and the water sign associated with Scorpio. And you can envision the symbolism of this sign as a metal ball that is completely immersed in cold water, causing everything to rapidly boil and the ball to emit a hissing sound and steam, creating an overall impression of great intimidation and intensity. Even the symbol of a scorpion, the scorpion itself, is a venomous creature, and that effectively describes the intensity of this internal conflict. On one hand, this individual is active, he is a fighter, he has the qualities of an Aries. Conquer, seize, take under one's wing. However, on the other hand, he does have this sensitivity to water, you know. What does sensitivity mean for the qualities of a piece of shit? The ability to hold grudges, get offended, and be emotionally vulnerable for a long time. Secondly, holding on to these grudges, seeking revenge. The dark side of a person's personality also manifests itself through the Scorpio sign, as the ability to experience very negative emotions. Dark, unattractive ones that we always keep hidden within ourselves. Examples include anger, vengeance, a thirst for retribution, a thirst for revenge, and other similar emotions that reside deep within us. And the Scorpion, his qualities are as follows. He perceives a multitude of things initially as a danger, attacks it, and only then shows his true nature, which is much softer and more gentle than it seems at first glance. A Scorpio is an individual who often ponders about the topic of life and death, contemplating the transition that happens to a person's soul or body after leaving life, after the moment of death, and reflecting on the profound implications of this existential journey. Scorpios themselves are seductive, sexual, they possess charisma, and many individuals state that it is such an appealing zodiac sign. However, they can also be vengeful, poisonous, and occasionally make use of foul language when they feel the need to protect themselves. Because, you know, there's something about Martians that just goes well with their watery insides. Their essence is unbounded. We have completed the second round, each and every one of you. And we have one more lap left to go. Fiery, earthy, airy, and watery. That's Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Let's have a conversation about them. Sagittarius is additionally a fiery sign, which signifies it is also concerned with leadership, goal setting, ambition, the desire to show oneself and lead everyone else, resembling a kind of Prometheus in its determination and drive. Sagittarius are symbolic, mythical, associated with the centaur Chiron, who was the mentor and teacher of all heroes such as Hercules and others. Sagittarians have a tendency towards teaching activities. In general, the mentoring aspect is very prominent among Sagittarians in their lives. They are searching for good mentors themselves and become mentors, teachers, and researchers themselves. Or, let's say, combine multiple roles. They also exhibit a considerable amount of resourcefulness and demonstrate strong entrepreneurship skills. Despite being a fiery sign similar to Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, Sagittarius displays the highest level of leadership in this particular scenario, just like its counterparts Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius of the zodiac signs. So Ovin is similar to physical military leadership, sports leadership, which is demonstrated through muscle strength or strength of character. Leo, that was an impressive display of leadership and management skills by the manager. And a Sagittarius is a spiritual leader, ideological. So individuals born under the sign of Sagittarius naturally aspire to become trendsetters in a particular field or niche and cultivate their understanding of a specific ideology, as well as consequently guide others through a certain idea. This is their preferred genre of music. That is an incredible display of energy combined with profound wisdom and a unique kind of ideology. The ruling planet is Jupiter. We're meeting Jupiter for the first time with you now at this table. And Jupiter here demonstrates itself as wisdom that we transmit to the younger generation. How should one behave? What social norms, moral norms, legal norms exist and how to comply with them? So Sagittarius absorbs this energy of mentorship and wisdom transmission through Jupiter, the transmission of knowledge. What qualities do individuals born under the zodiac sign Sagittarius possess? In order to fulfill this social role, they must possess certain qualifications and innate qualities. And the archers possess them. They are generally very truthful, direct, not inclined to manipulation, deception, blackmail, and any negative aspects that are more characteristic of Scorpios. Apologies to all Scorpios. By the way, I'm a Scorpio myself, so I have the right to say something unpleasant about this sign. You see, the complete system is set up in a highly clever way, and each person has their own distinct social role. Scorpions are the individuals who evaluate dangers to society or to a certain group of individuals, and they handle them. Those who can actually digest this information, but what will happen after we die? What's the deal with this? What should I do with this? Society has become so complex. We acquired this resource, preserved it, traded it, emotionally processed it, and then what? One day our generation will come to an end. What's next? Next up, the shooter. Sagittarius passes on to the new generation all this accumulated knowledge of ours, laws, norms, and so on. So, this is how it goes. Let's continue moving forward. Capricorn, this is our earth sign of the zodiac. The highest level should exhibit thoroughness, and indeed, in this location, earthly qualities attain their state of utmost ecstasy and fulfillment. If Taurus were merely practical, reliable, understandable, predictable, level-headed, Virgos were identical, but they were additionally proficient in how to enhance, how to make it flawless, how to achieve perfection in every aspect, how to calculate, gather, and structure everything. Then Capricorns, their earth qualities, this element of earth manifests itself in the fact that they achieve maximum respect, maximum high position and success in the non-material manifestations of these qualities and phenomena. Capricorns, with their earth qualities, excel in attaining utmost respect, highest positions, and unparalleled success in the intangible manifestations of these inherent attributes and phenomena. So Capricorns are precisely those individuals who are prepared to work extremely hard. They are also level-headed. They are also highly practical. You cannot lure them with any fairy tales and tall tales either. They believe only in numbers, in knowledge that comes through actions, through experience, through deeds, and so on. However, they undergo this lengthy and arduous journey in order to obtain intangible benefits and advantages from their power, influence, and position in society. Things like respect, social role, and the ability to be a behind-the-scenes leader. the capability to be the leader of an entire enormous system that you are altering. So if Leo is the administrative leadership, such as presidential, then Capricorns frequently symbolize the second individual in the state who is less occupied in the public domain representing the state, somewhere negotiating with someone while they are within the system. They observe this system, they modify it, convert it, and that is their thing. That is what they find interesting. Not in publicity, but in practical power, when you actually transform an idea into a concrete sequence of actions in reality, that's where the true impact and effectiveness truly lie. Kodorogi are under the control of the planet Saturn, and we first encounter this planet in the signs of the zodiac. Just like Jupiter, they only appear on the third cycle. Fairy tales are falsehoods, but there is a suggestion in them. Why do Jupiter and Saturn occupy the final, let us say, most fashionable signs of the zodiac, the most progressive ones? Because both Jupiter and Saturn are the two most serious planets, which have already developed their personality in them during middle and old age. That is the wisdom, the patience, and the hard work that come with personal growth. These qualities are crucial for self-improvement and success in life's journey. However, still, this third group definitely possesses some inherent qualities. They are inherent, they simply unfold over the course of life. So Capricorn, it is the 10th sign of the zodiac, and it is ruled by the planet Saturn. Saturn, as you recall from the initial lesson, is not exactly a fun individual. He is strict, occasionally punishing, and he is completely focused on working hard. Capricorns are diligent individuals. They put in a great deal of effort, and Capricorns are precisely those individuals who will undoubtedly come across numerous challenges, many more individuals with charisma who will intersect their journey. However, because they are extremely stable, this specific piece of land offers them the stability they require to achieve their goal and fulfill their desires. It's really hard for them to quickly change their life goals. They had been cultivating these landmarks within themselves for decades. Owen can switch projects easily. It works for him. He did everything, passed it on, and went on to achieve something new. For him, it's natural to switch from one value to another. However, Capricorns are extremely stable. And that is how other qualities are derived from it. For instance, individuals possessing this trait tend to be emotionally quite cold and distant. As I already mentioned, they only believe in actions, only in numbers, only in results, and romance is not inherent to this zodiac sign. However, they are stable and calm. Furthermore, once they find a solution in a specific area of their life, they promptly conclude that particular topic. So, I discovered a spouse, that is all. Check mark is completed, topic is closed. Now let's proceed to the career domain, and they will never alter individuals in their lives unless certain exceptional circumstances compel them to take action, and the source from which they most frequently will not be derived. Aquarius is the 11th sign in the zodiac, and Aquarius is also a sign that is governed by Saturn, but it is characterized as an air sign. And at this particular juncture, an intriguing phenomenon takes place. The reality is that the Aquarius itself, the Aquarius constellation as described in traditional classical ancient myths, is widely acknowledged as the wine bearer of Zeus. This is Zeus's waiter, responsible for pouring wine. There is a wealth of hidden symbolism and significance embedded in this symbol, representing much more than meets the eye. Firstly, due to Aquarius being a wine dipper, he has a tendency to instill in a person a penchant for an easy and uncomplicated life that is characterized by simplicity and effortlessness. Aquarians really love having a lot of friends, a big social circle, the ability to go to one party today, another event tomorrow, and a third the day after tomorrow. They are very easygoing. That is why they are like a breath of fresh air. They try this one, then that one, then the third one. The direction of their interests in the first half of life, until the age of 28, 30, is solely focused on experiencing all the socializing parties and entertainment that they can. Despite, let's say, the frivolity of such impulses, they have a very serious side of their character. Saturnine, they are also under the guidance of Saturn, and it slowly rises from the depths, gradually ascending towards the heavens, revealing the profound nature of their being. This Saturnian nature, which is the second one in their character, is characterized by seriousness, stability, and a strong sense of honesty. It is a very straightforward and sincere nature, reflecting their reliable and steadfast demeanor. Aquarians eventually acquire these qualities. They become loyal, faithful friends, faithful spouses. They've been around for a while. It's like they've already experienced all the fun of this world in the second part of their lives, got disappointed in them and realized that, maturity isn't quite there yet. Individuals born under the Aquarius zodiac sign often have a propensity for finding unconventional and interesting solutions. That's just their airy nature because it's an airy sign. A lot of newbies confuse Aquarius with a water sign because of the name, but no, it's an air sign. And because of this airiness, because of this element of air, Aquarius possesses the ability to generate innovative ideas. So like here, the twins were exchanging information, goods, services. Then we had a scale sign that exchanged values and norms that should be observed in society, should be observed in communication, should be observed in relationships, should be observed in interactions. And the Aquarius exchanges ideas. And this is a revolutionary level. I mean, among Aquarians, there are numerous pioneers, individuals who possess the capability of generating super unusual thoughts, who propel this society forward. I mean, they have the ability to perceive ordinary things, ordinary processes in our life from a non-standard angle of view. That is the reason why they are inventors. They are also extremely intelligent. This is their air concept that passes through all of the air signs in existence. They are also inclined to this communication, to moving around, to traveling, to exchanging information. However, their main objective is to generate distinctive ideas and introduce them into society. Saturn, the ruler of this sign, also reveals their position of employment and the role they play in it. Rarely do people who have a strong Aquarius influence, meaning a planetary cluster in Aquarius, on their ascendant, for example, on the Lagna, will delve into these concepts again. I simply don't think you will watch this mini course just one time. I am telling you, you have to watch those lessons a few times. And when you finally figure out the mechanics of horoscopes, I'm sure you'll come back to this lesson and review it again. So when you watch it for the second or third time, pay attention to the fact that when Aquarius is manifested in a person, that is, there's a cluster of planets, Lagna or Lagnesh in it, then this person rarely ascends to any leadership positions. It is more of an exception rather than the norm. Usually he's a servant. Oh, so that's how it is. Similar to the symbol of Aquarius, this wine steward who serves wine to the deities like a waiter, pours wine to the deities and is inclined to provide service in this manner as per his nature and disposition. He's inclined to do odd jobs, to take on the most basic responsibilities. And in this too is their humility, their uniqueness in the fact that despite the genius of their mind, they can do completely simple work, do not disdain it, and are completely loyal to it. What is the deal with the fish? The fish is the very last zodiac sign, and it is under the guidance of the planet Jupiter. And this is a watermark indicating that it is a component of the water character constellation, the water social function. Let's remember what the water function is all about. The key is to process spirituality, emotions. And the fish sign here is like all about this super religious concept of sacrifice, forgiveness, and really high moral quality, It represents the ideas of sacrifice, forgiveness, and moral excellence in a deeply religious context. Fish in the external world, similar to on land, just like their symbol, do not exist in reality or in any tangible form of existence. So, they seldom attain significant success in society, substantial incomes, prominent positions, and high social status in their endeavors. That rarely happens in their life. Usually they're like hermits, detached from all these materialistic things. They make an effort to delve into spirituality, philosophy, self-discovery, and the practice of meditation. To manifest, comprehend, understand, and forgive oneself in Christian or other religious customs, rituals, and practices of various traditions. And pardon yourself for certain imperfections. Fish are under the guidance of the planet Jupiter, so they are also inclined to transmit knowledge, educate, just like Sagittarians. In addition, they gather all this wisdom, spiritual wisdom, accumulate and digest it, let's say. They come to realize and fully comprehend it. Fish are connected with an abundance of love between people, which goes beyond sexuality. It spreads from soul to soul, and fish themselves are typically very capable of experiencing deep love. They possess a highly developed emotional side, as they are considered an animal symbol of love and affection. They have a deep love, they are loyal, they are capable of sacrificing themselves for a purpose, for someone they love, for the purpose of saving a loved one. And these types of stories often materialize and manifest in different aspects of their lives. Sacrifice, renunciation, something extra that you do for your loved ones. That is the way it is. Their social function is to summarize everything, so that all the wisdom of society, all the wisdom of self-knowledge in their heads, in their destiny, acquired some maximally complete forms and became condensed into concise expressions of profound insight. And more frequently than not, fish, they are like spiritual mentors, just like Sagittarians, a bit similar in energy. But if a Sagittarius, they transmit this knowledge to other individuals, indicating they desire to provide it one-on-one, then fish are more inclined to leave behind books or some expressions, or they are not truly enthusiastic to share their wisdom. Fish are a water sign, and in astrology, water signifies muteness, a person who is mute and doesn't prefer to talk extensively. What notes do I have for you regarding homework? Hey, please take a look at this particular point, okay? Even if you are a beginner astrologer and you are examining someone's horoscope with a friend, let's say, using an app or a printed handout that you have for the lesson, you do not have to make the person read it themselves. It is not necessary for them to go through it independently. You better read it. Even if you didn't remember, read it yourself. Let it come from your own mouth. People need to get used to the fact that information should be useful, necessary, and interesting. It comes directly from you, not from some website printout or some service. Even if you're using the AlphaSpace app on your Astra processor, displaying the stars in a person's horoscope, be sure to read them aloud yourself while working. Or let me take a look, repeat it in your own voice. Let people become accustomed to the fact that you are a source of valuable information, and you become accustomed to discussing astrology, talking about astrology, and providing this information. We have completed the third lesson, and I have an assignment for you, which will be divided into two parts. Part 1. You need to determine the zodiac signs in which your planets are located. Currently, by constructing your horoscope, you can observe that you have Venus positioned in the sector, which is in conjunction with the sign 4. The number 4 corresponds to Cancer, which is the fourth sign of the zodiac. Saturn, for instance, in the sector adjacent to which the number 8 stands, specifically Scorpio, Saturn is positioned in Scorpio for you. So you can acquire information from this lesson. By the way, at the conclusion of the lesson, you will also discover supplementary materials to peruse briefly and review what we discussed on this day. And after you determine your signs of being a workaholic, examine how it manifests in your life. Also, I recommend that you analyze not only your own life and horoscopes, but also consider making 3 sacrifices for 3 people who are close to you, such as your friends. For example, based on my experience, by the way, I'll tell you that it's better to choose some colleagues or friends, but not the closest people. Because irrespective of the new undertaking you commence, your closest relatives invariably display the most substantial resistance and opposition, no matter what new thing you start. Typically, they tend to resist the most when you are doing something new. Therefore, it is advisable to take a step back and, for instance, as I have already mentioned, consult with colleagues or comrades, friends, and create a horoscope for this individual, as instructed in Lesson 2. Identify the zodiac signs in their horoscope and consequently analyze the information from this lesson accordingly. He possesses a larger number of planets in water signs, in earth signs, or in fire signs, or in signs of other elements. And how does it manifest in him, in his nature? So you can already analyze the horoscope. It will be a little analysis. And you can have a conversation about it with this individual. If you have a laptop, you can utilize the data from Jigannatha Hora. If you are going to meet up with that person in person somewhere, I do not know, at work, at school, at a cafe, at the movies, it is better to have the Alpha Space mobile app, so you have it handy. And with this person, you'll be able to discuss how it manifests for him, how he feels it within himself. Does he recognize himself in these qualities at this moment or not? That can also occur. And you will already start accumulating, firstly, the experience of studying horoscopes. Secondly, you will already be preparing these close people for the fact that you are learning astrology. They should help you in this, support you. There will definitely be people who will find it interesting, intriguing, and it shouldn't be ignored by them. You got to sit down with them and be like, well, right now I can do this much. Let's watch and analyze together. They will find it interesting and you will find it very useful too. Why don't you try yourself as an astrologer, consultant, or at least in this format for now? And after looking at one person's horoscope, do it a couple more times. So let's say you have practice with 3 horoscopes until the next lesson. That's the way to go. Take some piece of information and work on it. Don't be lazy, don't be overconfident, thinking that everything will stay in your head. Just like that, it is just watching a video. Definitely go and practice. And remind people that you are presently studying astrology at a high-quality school that specializes in forecasting. While you haven't grown into a big astrologer yet, join the prestige of our school. And you're saying that you're studying at a school of prognostics called Alpha. Let them already understand that you are a part of a large structure, a part of a large school. Right now, there are 2692 students studying in our school. That is an incredibly impressive outcome. And to become a student of this school and say, yes, I can only do this now and this, but I am learning within this big structure. This is, well, let's say, ensuring the protection of the school's reputation in front of your first clients. That's all there is to it for our 3rd lesson. Hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. We'll see each other in the 4th lesson. Goodbye, everyone.